This section is going to be hard, as if the first two weren't. We're going to do three things. First, I want to talk a little bit about the question that we're going to work on that came up for me as I was working on this social change collection. Second, armed with those questions, I'm going to send you all to explore the social change website and all the resources and features that are there. And then third, God willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to go into breakout groups and share and discuss what we've learned and come up with answers to the couple of key questions that we're going to work on. And then we're going to come back about the last 10 minutes and share those answers. Now it says in the instructions, maybe read The Snout or Mary Oliver's Wild Geese or Song of a Man Who Has Come Through. But I'm going to skip that part just to say, with this technology, I have an old friend who years ago said, the images that I grew up with were more appropriate for living in the time of Julius Caesar than for living in the 20th century. And I'd just like to say, the images in which participating that I learned in the 20th century seem now more appropriate to the time of Julius Caesar than they do to the time we're living in right now. Now the questions. What will it take to release large amounts of sustained human energy toward significant social, economic, political, and cultural change over the rest of this century? From our brainstorm yesterday, it's almost as though there's a whole industry of social change organizations. There's big ones, there's little ones, there's attack ones, there's democratic parties, there's movements coming up every day. At the same time, it feels like social change has become trench warfare. Small gains. One of the things we ran into in the website was a report published in 1971 that was available back then that talked about the climate crisis and alerting 10,000 of the most important leaders in the world. That was a long time ago, and here we still are. Then all of a sudden, COVID hit. And we looked around, and there was this amazing release of human energy. People suddenly doing things that weren't normal, whether that was double shifts by healthcare workers or people just staying home, or business owners closing their business. Where did that energy come from? And what kind of energy is going to be needed to sustain the sort of social change that are going to be needed? And then our second question is, what, if anything, does our experience as ICA, as OE, as EI, as the Spirit Movement, as the top network, have to offer to the question of what it's going to take to release those amounts of energy?